Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss one chapter of science, class 9. That is chapter 3, atoms and molecules. So, class 9, chapter 3, atoms and molecules, we are going to discuss today. Before the discussion of this whole chapter, let me discuss some history of the chapter about the atoms, from where the name came. Indian and Greek philosophers are always wondered about the unknown things. The idea of divisibility of matter was considered around 500 BC, and in this regard, Indian philosopher Maharishi Karnad postulates that if we go on dividing matter, continuously dividing a matter, if we go on, then the last particle that cannot be divided further, that means which is undivisible, that is he named as Paramanu. That is, he named as Paramanu. Later, after him, Pakida Kaitama, in details he explained about this atom, that is Paramanu, whatever Indian philosopher given the name. In the same century almost, Greek philosopher Democritus and Leucippus, same way, they also postulated that a matter continuously, if we go on by dividing, then the last particle, which is they are called as atom, that means which cannot be divided further. Later, Antony L. Levisier laid the foundation of chemical science by two laws of chemical combination. Antony L. Levisier. So they told that how two atoms can combine, and when will they combine, definitely they will follow the two laws of combination. First law of conservation of masses, and second one is laws of constant proportion. So first one, this law of conservation of mass. For example, if we do little, if I discuss little bit, then I can say that, let us see one example. When hydrogen reacts with oxygen, then forms water, right? So if we balance it, then we can write here 2, there 2. There are 4 hydrogen, there are also 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, there are also 2 oxygen. Now it is the balanced chemical equation. Now let us find out the mass in both the sides. So hydrogen, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So here 2 is 4, so 4 into 1, that is 4 U. If we write in gram, then it will be 4 gram. There are 2 oxygen, so one atomic mass of 1 oxygen is 16. So 2 into 16, that will be 32 gram. So total in the left side, total will be 4 plus 32, it will be 36 gram. Let's see in this side, in the right side, in the product side, what happened. So 2, these 2, the volume. Now there are 2 hydrogen, so 2 into 1 plus 1 oxygen, so 1 into 16. So 2 plus 16, so 2 into 18, so 36 gram. So we can see in our left side also 36 gram, so in our right side also 36 gram. So when an atom combines with another atom, So they will follow this law, that is law of conservation of mass, that is mass is conserved. In both sides mass is same, so that is mass is conserved. So this is the first law. Second law is law of constant proportion. Constant proportion, that means to form this H2O, in this H2O molecule, there will be, if we take the ratio of masses, then mass of hydrogen is 2 and mass of oxygen is 16. So 2:16, this will be 1:8. So this is constant. Whenever this hydrogen will react with oxygen, in this ratio they will react, that means 1:8 ratio. Never there will be 2:9 or 3:7 or anything else above, beyond this 1:8. So whenever they will, hydrogen and oxygen will react and form the compound, always they will maintain this ratio 1:8. So this is also constant. So according to this L. Levisier, who has given these two laws of atomic combination, these are the two laws, this is number 1 and this is number 2. So always they will follow these two laws and they will combine. At last, in this discussion of history, one theory of atom is given by Dalton. There is the Dalton atomic theory. According to that theory, he has told that all matters are made up of tiny particles. All the matters are made up of tiny particles, they are small particles. Number 2, atoms are indivisible particles. That means, in the definition of atom, we have seen that atom is the last particle which cannot be divided further. So in his theory also he has told that atoms are indivisible, that means which cannot be divided further. Atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. They have their own definite identity in mass and properties. Atoms of different element have different masses. Element is, that means all the elements do not have the same atomic mass. Every element has their own atomic mass. Atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers. That means whenever one atom will combine with another atom, they will maintain always the whole number, not in the decimal. That means they will follow the whole number, either 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And the last one is the relative number of kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. That means in this compound H2O, this never will be, if it is water, it will never will be HO2, it will be H2O. So kinds of atoms are constant. That means 2 hydrogen atoms, there will be 1 oxygen atom in the molecule of water. So this is all about the history of what is atom. Let us discuss about the what is atom. Atom, that is, we have discussed already that it is the last particle which cannot be divided further. So if we say that what is atom, we can say that the last particle of any matter, when we are continuously breaking and going on, breaking and breaking and breaking and going on, then the last particle which cannot be broken further, that is atom. And the size of that atom is very, 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 very small, which cannot be seen by naked eye. Almost we can say that the size of the atom is in nanometer, 1 nm. 1 nanometer equal to 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So we can say that 1 meter equal to 10 to the power 9 nanometer. So very, very small particles, nanometer, picometer, 10 to the minus 12 meter, picometer. So in nanometer and picometer, the size of the atoms are expressed. So from this we can say that the size of the atom is very, very small and which cannot be seen by naked eye. There you can see that 1 nanometer is 10 to the minus 9 meter. So very, very small. Next, their symbol, many symbols came, many scientists, many chemists, many persons have given many symbols. Like that, one has given symbol of something like that, some atoms like that, some element like that. Another given, suppose one given lithium, symbol of lithium like that, one given symbol of like this, another given symbol like this, another given symbol like this. So many of the persons, many of the scientists and chemists, they have given different symbols, but all the symbols are not accepted. So later at last the symbols accepted by IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, IUPAC, they have accepted that the first letter of the name of the element is considered as the symbol of the element. First letter is the name of the element is considered as the symbol of the element. Like suppose hydrogen. So hydrogen, the first letter is H, so symbol of hydrogen is considered as H. Suppose helium, first letter is H, so the symbol of helium also must be H, but H is already taken in the hydrogen, so they have taken the second letter also, that means He. So He is the second letter of helium, so first letter is hydrogen, H denotes hydrogen, so with second letter this is the symbol of helium, so He. So like this in all other. Suppose sodium symbol is Na. Now there is a question that why not S, why not SO, anything like that, why it is Na? Because in that time, in the Greek language, the name of the sodium was natrium. Natrium, natrium. From that they have considered Na, because N denotes nitrogen. So the second letter also they have taken in sodium. So the first letter or including the second letter in the Greek language of the name of the symbol is, name of the element is the symbol of the element. So easily we can learn the symbol of the element by, we need to remember 20 elements and their symbol also. At least 20 we need to remember and their symbol also. So easy method is there to remember. I am giving one sentence and that sentence will indicate the symbol. If we remember the sentence serially, then we can remember the symbol as well as we can remember the name of the element or atom. The sentence is hi, hello. Little beryl brown, cracking nuts on Friday. Nelly's naughty. Magpie. Always sings pop songs. Clearly after killing Kathy. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and the last one is 20. So there from first symbol is H, next one HE, next one Li, next one BE, next one B, next one C, next N, O, F, NE, NA, MG, AL, S, P, SI, P, S, Cl, Ar, potassium, K, Ca. So hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium. So this sentence, if we remember, then we can remember the atomic number. These are the atomic number of these 20 elements, and their symbols are also given. So it will be very easy for you to remember, and this is the way you can remember easily. If we remember atomic number as well as symbol, then many things can be solved by us easily. And we must have to remember the atomic numbers of these atoms. Also, we must have to remember the symbols of these atoms. So how to remember? It's very easy. At least we need to remember 20 elements and 20 atoms or 20 atoms. This is the sentence given. If we remember the sentence, then easily we can write the symbol as well as the name of the elements as well as the atomic number. So I wish that you can remember easily. Now we have learned about the symbols of the atoms, size of the atoms. Then some atoms are called monoatomic, some atoms are diatomic, some atoms are diatomic, some atoms are polyatomic. So monoatomic, suppose argon, we are writing only Ar. So monoatomic, suppose fluorine F, this is also monoatomic. Boron B, this is also monoatomic. Diatomic, suppose H2, we are writing in the symbol H2, H2, Cl2, N2, O2, these are diatomic. Polyatomic, sulfur, this one sometimes S, sometimes S2, sometimes S8, so many atoms combining, and that's why it is called polyatomic. Poly means many. So what is next one is our what is molecule. When more than one atoms combine together, then forms the molecule. More than one atom, suppose H2O, there hydrogen there, oxygen there. So more than one atom. This is molecule, not atom. Or hydrogen itself is an atom, oxygen itself is an atom. But when both of them combine together form H2O, this is molecule. So molecule, we can say that more than two atoms when combined together forms molecule. Now in the elements or in the atoms, basically three types are there: metals, non-metals and metalloids. Our discussion right now is what are ions. So in this discussion we can say easily that if one metal combines with another non-metal, for example sodium combining with chlorine, then forms NaCl. sodium chloride. So this sodium is metal, this one is non-metal. So in this case, Na positive, Cl negative. This is ion. This Na positive is ion, Cl negative is also another ion. Now why metal and non-metal? Because metals are giving up their electrons to attain the balancing. When one atom is, why one atom is combining with another atom? Because to attain their balancing, to attain the stability in their life. So when atoms are reacting with another atom, then they are giving or taking electrons and attaining the valency, or they are sharing. So here, as we are discussing about the ions, so here sharing matter will not come. In the next chapter you will get it. Here, when one element is giving electrons, another is taking electrons. For example, the atomic number of sodium is 11 and atomic number of chlorine is 17. Electronic configuration of sodium is 2.8.1. This one is 2.8.7. So last orbit 1 electron, last orbit 7 electron. So there, if sodium give up this, release this 1 electron, and if chlorine take 1 electron, sodium will give up 1 electron and chlorine will take 1 electron. Then since charge of electron is negative, so sodium, since giving 1 electron to chlorine, so sodium, number of electron in sodium becoming 11 minus 1, 10, but number of proton in sodium remain 11. So higher one is proton, that's why sodium becoming positive, because charge of proton is positive. Chlorine 17 is taking 1 electron, attaining the configuration of argon, that is 2.8.8. Earlier it is 2.8.7, now 2.8.8 after taking 1 electron. So number of electron becomes 18, but number of proton in chlorine remain 17. This one higher, so chlorine became negative, sodium becoming positive. This one is called cation, this one is anion. So two ions are forming there, one is anion, one is cation. This one is cation, this one is anion. So here, when metal and non-metal reacting together and forming a compound, they are cation and anion forming. That means one is giving up the electron, another is taking electron. So one is becoming positive ion, another becoming negative ion. So this is the concept of ion. But this will not happen if two non-metals react together, because whenever two non-metals are reacting, they are always sharing their electrons of outermost orbit. So they are not forming any ions. Ions are only formed when any metal reacting with one non-metal. Then one will give up the electron, another will take electron. So then positive ion, negative ion is forming. That means cation and ions are forming. Next in our discussion is what is mole? Mole concept. Before discussing the mole concept, we will discuss about the atomic mass. What is atomic mass? Atomic mass, by the name we can understand that the mass of an atom. So mass of an atom we are writing, that is mass of oxygen atom is 16, mass of sodium atom is 23. So like these are the mass of atom. But what is the definition of atomic mass? Atomic mass definition is 1 by 12 into mass of one atom of carbon 12 isotope. Carbon 12 is taken as the standard atom, and whenever we are calculating the mass of any matter, then these are very small in size, nanometer, picometer. So their mass by beam balance or by any other measurement or weight and measurement, it is not possible. So considering the carbon 12 as a standard isotope, Carbon has other isotope also, carbon 13, carbon 14. Carbon 12 is taken as the standard isotope, and since carbon 12 is the atomic mass of carbon, and carbon 12 is the isotope is considered as the standard element, standard atom, and comparing the mass of other atom with the mass of carbon 12 isotope of 1/12. That means carbon 12 piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They are the 12 piece. Out of this 12 piece, only one piece. Out of this 12, this one piece. Out of this 12 piece, this atomic mass means the mass of one element, which will be is compared with the mass of one piece out of this 12 piece of carbon 12 isotopes. That means out of this 12 piece, one piece is considered. And with this one piece, how much heavier? The other atom, this oxygen 16 times heavier, sodium 23 times heavier. Like this others also. So atomic mass of oxygen 16 means oxygen is 16 times. Oxygen is 16 times heavier than the mass of 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12 isotopes. That means other atoms are how much heavier than the 1/12 the mass of carbon 12 isotope. That is the atomic mass of that element. I think we understand better. So we understand atomic mass. So whatever the atomic mass of any element, we can say that that element is that much times heavier than the 1/12 of the mass of carbon 12 isotopes. Next, before discussing the mole, this is one we have discussed about the atomic mass. Another discussion required, that is the Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. This is Avogadro's number. That means the mass of carbon is 12. The mass of carbon is 12. If we express in gram, then it will be 12 gram. So mass of carbon, we can say gram atomic mass of carbon is 12 gram. So 12 gram is the atomic mass of carbon. So according to Avogadro, in 12 gram of carbon, this much number of particles are there. In 12 gram carbon, this much numbers of particles are there. For another example, suppose atomic mass of oxygen. We know the atomic mass of oxygen is 16 gram. So we can say that in 16 gram oxygen atom, the number of particles present is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. That means we can say that 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of mass of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of oxygen atom is 16 gram. If we consider that oxygen molecule, that means O2, then that will be 16 into 2, that will be 32 gram. Then we can say that the mass of oxygen molecule is 32 gram. That means in that one oxygen molecule, this much number of particles are there. That means 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. That means whatever the element is, this Avogadro's number is constant, always constant for every element. This many numbers of particles are there in any element, whatever their atomic mass. For example, in carbon also this many number there, in oxygen also this many number there, in oxygen molecule also this much number there. Just at the time of saying, we have to change it. There will say atom, there will say a molecule. That means mass of this much particle of oxygen molecule is 32 gram. So this is Avogadro's number, which is constant. Now let us discuss about our mole concept. Mole concept, that means mass of carbon is 12 gram and number of particle present in 12 gram carbon is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and this is called 1 mole carbon. Suppose oxygen, mass of oxygen is 16 gram and number of particle present in this 16 gram oxygen atom is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23, and this is 1 mole. This is called mole concept. If there is 2 carbon, there will be 2 mole. If there is 2 oxygen, there will be 2 mole. 2 oxygen atom, then 2 mole. If 1 oxygen molecule, then we will say 1 mole. But 1 oxygen atom also 1 mole. So carbon gram atomic mass of 1 carbon atom is 12 gram, and number of particle present in that gram atomic mass is this much. There is Avogadro's number which is constant, and this is togetherly called 1 mole. Same way in case of oxygen also called 1 mole. So this is the mole concept, and based on this mole concept, Avogadro's number and atomic mass, we have certain numericals that we will do, and before that we need to know how to form the compound. Suppose calcium nitrate. Calcium nitrate, it is written in spelling. We need to write the chemical symbol of this calcium nitrate. Then it is not possible to remember many chemicals name and many chemical symbol. But if they have asked to write the chemical formula, then we need to know that how to write the chemical formula. If the process, if we follow how to write and how to form this formula, then we can write many formulas, and for which we need to remember only the atomic mass of the particular element. Here calcium is there, and nitrate means NO3. The valency of calcium is 2. Valency of nitrate is 1. Then their valency will be interchanged, and the compound will be, this one will come under Ca and this 2 will go under NO3. Then since under NO3 if we write 2, then there will be 2, then it will be under O. So that's why it must be under both, that is NO3. That's why you need to draw one bracket and then 2. So CaNO3 2. This is the chemical formula of calcium nitrate. Suppose another one, barium sulfate. Okay, suppose ammonia. In ammonia, nitrogen is there and hydrogen is there. The valency of nitrogen is 3 and the valency of hydrogen is 1. How the valency of nitrogen is 3? Because atomic number of nitrogen is 2.5. So another 3 required to make it 8. So that's why valency 3. That will be interchanged and the chemical formula of ammonia will be formed. This will be NH3. 1 no need to write. So nothing written, that means 1 is there. So NH3 is the chemical formula of ammonia. Another one, suppose aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide. So here Al there and hydroxide means OH. Valency of aluminium is 3. Valency of OH is 1. So now interchange. It will be Al OH3. Al OH3. This is the symbol of aluminium hydroxide. Same way another one, if we see, suppose sodium oxide, so here sodium is there, that means Na valence is 1, and oxygen is there, that means valence is 2. How oxygen valence is 2? Because atomic number of oxygen is 8 and 2.6, so another 2 required. 2.6, another 2 required, so valency of oxygen is 2. So now that will be interchange. Na2O, this 2 will come under Na and 1 will go under O, so Na2O, 1 on it to write. So Na2O is the symbol of sodium oxide. So this here we can write the chemical formula of many chemical compound. If we have learnt how to form the compound, how to write the chemical formula, this is the way. For this we need to remember the valency, and valency can be identified of every element if we remember the atomic mass of the element. And by the sentence which one I have given earlier, from that sentence we can remember the atomic mass as well as symbol as well as the name of the element. So from that, how to find the valency? Valency means combining capacity of an element, combining capacity, or another way you can say that the number of electrons either accepted or rejected to attain the configuration of nearest noble gas, that is valency. For example, aluminium atomic number is 13, electronic configuration 2.8.3. So if aluminium either has to release 3 electron or it has to take 5 electron, easier one will be release 3 electron. Generally aluminum is metal, metals are releasing electron. So definitely aluminum will release 3 electrons. So that's why the valency of aluminum is 3. Same way, suppose magnesium 12, 2.8.2. So either magnesium has to take another 6 to make it 8, or it has to release 2. So definitely magnesium will release 2. That's why valency of magnesium is 2. Same way, suppose chlorine 17, 2.8.7. Either chlorine has to take 1 electron or it has to release 7. Definitely easier one will be to take 1 electron. When 1 will be added, then it will become 8. Then 2.8.8, this is balance. So that's why valency of chlorine is 1, because 1 electron taken. So how many number of electron taken or released to attain the configuration of nearest noble gas? That means 2.8.8, 2.8, 2.8. So like this, attaining the configuration of nearest noble gas, and how many number of electron accepted or rejected, that is their valency. So like this we can find out the valency. If we know the valency, then by interchanging the valency of elements, we can write down the formula, chemical formula of the compound. Now in your exercise of this chapter 3, some numericals are there. All the numericals I will not do. You will try most of these. I will show one from each number. In your exercise of chapter 3, in question number 4, they have asked write the chemical formula of the following. Chemical formula. Before question number 4, whatever the questions are there, these are very easy. You can do it. You can write it. You can find the answer also. Very easy. But from 4, I am showing the one from each. Magnesium chloride. They have asked to write down the chemical formula of magnesium chloride. This is your question number 4A question. So magnesium is Mg, chloride means chlorine. Valency of Mg is 2, valency of chlorine is 1. Interchange. So the chemical formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl2. This 2 will come under Cl, this 1 will come under Mg. 1 on it to write, so it will be MgCl2. So like this, others formula you can write easily. Next one is question number 5. Same way, they have asked to write down the chemical formula of the following. You try. I think you can. And question number 6, they have asked to find out calculate the molar mass of the following substance. Molar mass means molecular mass. Number A, I am showing number A, 6A. 6A, ethine. Remember, the formula of ethine is C2H2. Formula of ethine is C2H2. Ethene, ethane, ethine, these are there in the class 10, you will get it. So now, no need to think about it, that you will get in class 10. You have to wait for next year. Now you try to remember that ethine formula is C2H2 as they have given in the question, so I am telling you. Formula of ethine is C2H2 and they have asked to find out the molecular mass of this ethine molecule. So C2H2. Let's see how to find out the molecular mass of ethine molecule. So we have to write there. We'll express the molecular mass in grams. So we'll write gram molecular mass. Gram molecular mass of ethine. That means C2H2. How many carbon there? 2 carbon there. So 2 into the gram atomic mass of one carbon atom is 12 plus 2 hydrogen there, so 2. Gram atomic mass of one hydrogen atom is 1. This much gram. So 12 to the 24 plus 2 and the 2. This much gram. So 26 gram. So gram molecular mass of ethine is 26 gram. So this way you can calculate the other question, gram molecular mass of the other compound, whatever given in the question number 6. I have shown you only one, 6A, how to find out the gram molecular mass. How many number there? This one written and the atomic mass of each one written. 2 into atomic mass of carbon is 12, so 2 into 12. Next atom, we are going to next atom, so that's why plus sign. So next atom, how many there? 2, so 2. Atomic mass of hydrogen, how much? 1, so 2 into 1 written. Then calculated, addition, multiplication done, and then got the result. This is the 26 gram is the mass of ethine molecule. Next, number 7. In number 7, they have asked what is the mass of the following. What is the mass of the following? I will show number B, 7B. What is the mass of what is the mass of 4 moles of aluminum atoms? Four moles of aluminum atoms. This is the question. What is the mass of 4 moles of aluminum atom? So we discussed earlier about the mole concept. Let us write first the atomic mass of aluminum atom. How much? Atomic mass of one atomic mass of one aluminum atom is 27. atomic mass of one aluminum atom is 27. So we can write gram atomic mass of one aluminum atom is 27 gram. Then here gram atomic mass of one aluminum atom is 27 gram. So 1 mole aluminum atom one mole of aluminum atom means what? 1 mole of aluminum atom, that is the gram atomic mass of one aluminum atom. How much? That is the mass of 1 mole of aluminum atom. That means we can say that mass of mass of 1 mole of aluminum atom equal to 27 gram. Because 1 mole of aluminum atom means whatever the atomic mass of one aluminum atom, that is the 1 mole. So gram atomic mass of one aluminum atom is 27 gram. So this is the mass of 1 mole of aluminum atom. Then they have asked what is the mass of 4 moles of aluminum atom. So therefore mass of 4 moles of aluminum atom, if mass of 1 mole of aluminum atom is 27 gram, then obviously the 4 mole of aluminum atom will be much more bigger. So multiplication there will be. So 27 into 4, this much gram. 4 7 ja 28, 8, 2, 4 2 ja 8 plus 2, 10. So this is the mass of 4 moles of aluminum atom is 108 gram. So this is question number 7. Next, question number 8. I wish rest of the question number 7, 6, 5 and this you can. So question number 8, convert into mole. 8a, convert 12 gram of oxygen gas into mole. 12 gram of oxygen gas into mole. 12 gram of oxygen gas into mole. So here it is written oxygen gas. Oxygen gas, that means molecule obviously. It is not oxygen atom. If it is oxygen atom, then there will not be written oxygen gas, because oxygen gas means O2. So O2, that means molecule. So we have to find out first the gram molecular mass of oxygen gas. Gram molecular mass of oxygen gas, that means O2. O2, that means 2 into 16 gram equal to 32 gram. So 32 gram is the gram molecular mass of oxygen gas. So from the mole concept we can say, see another thing I am telling, that whatever the formulas used in the chapter, using that formulas I am not doing any numericals, because to do for every one numerical there is one formula. So how many formulas can be remembered by you? So it is very tough, it will be very tough. So that's why I followed the unitary method. By using the unitary method, all the numericals I am solving. So that means without following the formula. So it will be, I think it will be easy for you. Instead of remembering the formula, using the unitary method we can find out the all the numerical solution. So I wish that it will be better for you to follow the unitary method. So there gram molecular mass of oxygen gas is 32 gram. From the mole concept we can say that 32 gram of oxygen gas. 32 gram of oxygen gas means 1 mole. 32 gram of oxygen gas means 1 mole, equal to 1 mole. From the mole concept, this is the gram molecular mass of one oxygen gas is 32 gram. Now 32 gram of oxygen molecule means 1 mole. Therefore 1 gram of oxygen gas equal to 1 by 32 mole. Therefore 12 gram. They have asked to find out the 12 gram. So we have to convert 12 gram into number of mole. 12 gram of oxygen gas, it will be more than 1. So 12 into 1 by 32 mole. Let's see how much. 4 3 are 12, 4 8. Divide 3 by 8. So it is 0.375 moles. 0.375 moles. So we have converted 12 gram oxygen gas into mole. That means 12 gram oxygen gas is 0.375 mole. Because 32 gram oxygen means 1 mole, then 12 gram oxygen gas means 0.375 mole. Next one, number 9. What is the mass of? They have asked, what is the mass of? What is the mass of number A? I am going to do number A, 9A. 0.2 mole of oxygen atom. 0.2 mole of oxygen atom. So in this type of question we have to see first, we have to identify first whether atom or molecule. Here oxygen atom is mentioned, so we have to deal with the atom, atomic mass. Now what is the mass of 0.2 mole of oxygen atom? So let us solve it. Atomic mass of one oxygen atom, gram atomic mass. Always we will write in gram. Gram atomic mass of one oxygen atom. Gram atomic mass of one oxygen atom. Atomic mass of one oxygen atom is 16. So gram atomic mass of one oxygen atom is 16 gram. So we can say that 16 gram is the gram atomic mass of 1 mole of oxygen. That means mass of 1 mole of oxygen is 16 gram. 16 gram is the mass of 1 mole of oxygen. That means mass of 1 mole of oxygen is 16 gram. We can write, therefore mass of 1 mole of oxygen atom equal to 16 gram. Therefore mass of 0.2 mole, we have to convert what is the mass. We have to find out the mass of 0.2 mole. So we are going to find out 0.2 mole of oxygen atom, 16 into 0.2 gram, that means 3.2 gram. That means mass of 1 mole of oxygen atom is 16 gram. Then mass of 0.2 mole will be 16 into 0.2, so 3.2 gram. So this way, by using the unitary method, we can find out easily. We can solve easily the numericals of this chapter. Now, the last one I am doing, it is the number 10. Number 10, they have asked that calculate the number of molecules of S8 present in 16 gram of solid sulfur. S8. How many number of molecules are there in 16 gram of solid sulfur? 16 gram of solid sulfur, how many there? In S8 first, how many there? That one we have to find out first. Number 10. Calculate the number of molecules of sulfur, that means S8, present in 16 gram of solid sulfur. So first we will write S8, gram molecular mass, gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass of sulfur is 32. Gram atomic mass of sulfur is 32 gram. So that means gram atomic mass of sulfur is 32 gram. That means gram atomic mass of one atom of sulfur is 32 gram. That therefore gram molecular mass of S8, that will be 8 into 32 gram. It is a 16, 256 gram. So gram molecular mass of S8 is 256 gram. Then they have asked calculate the number of molecules present in 16 gram solid sulfur. 16 gram. 256 gram is the mass of S8. Then in 16 gram, what is the mass of solid sulfur? So number of molecules, therefore from Avogadro's number you can say that number of molecules present in (256 gram of S8 equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 is the Avogadro's number. Therefore, number of molecules present in 1 gram of S8 equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 256. Therefore, number of molecules present in 16 gram of S8 equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 into 16 by 256. By 8 if we cut, Then if we divide 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 by 16, we get we can write there 60.22 into 10 to the power 22 by 16. We are going to divide 60.22 by 16. When we will divide by 16, we will get 3.76 into 10 to the power 22. This much number of molecules present in S8. So there, first we have find out the gram atomic mass of sulfur, that is 32 gram. Next, gram molecular mass of S8, as they have asked to find out S8. So S8, they have given the formula of sulfur. Sulfur is polyatomic, so S8. So we have find out 256. So since 256 is the S8 is the symbol they have taken, so in 256 gram of S8, number of particles present is this much, about this number. And later in 1 gram how much, by unitary method we have solved it. And later in 16 gram how many present. So 16, 256, 16 remain. So by 16 we have to divide it. So 1 decimal taken in the right side, decreasing 110 from there. So 10 to the power 22, there is 10 to the 23, it became 10 to the 22. So 60.22 we have divided by 16, and there 10 to the 22. So dividing these by 16, we got 3.76 into 10 to the power 22. So this is the numerical. Rest of the numericals I wish that you can solve it by yourself, and you try your level best to solve it. And at last, thank you very much. I think you understand my class. I wish that it will be helpful for you, and also I wish you will try your level best to solve the later rest of the numericals, and try to understand with the text by continuously read the contents whatever I have discussed, and match the contents with my discussion whatever given in your textbook. That will be very much helpful for you, and you can understand then better way easily. So I wish that you understand. Thank you very much.